new background. I hope you guys like it. One of the main reasons why I haven't been making videos is because I couldn't find like a set, like a backdrop that I liked. And this one's super easy. Like I would literally just have you guys on my like makeup drawer thingy. I don't know what it would be. It's not a drawer. It's this. This isn't a drawer. I have like my books back here. A lot of these are like older books. I haven't really gotten a lot of new books lately. But yeah, I just really am liking this background and I want to make use of it while I'm here. I know there was like a little bit of a break between my last couple of vlogs that I uploaded quite frequently. And it's kind of fitting as to what happened during that time because we're going to be talking about anxiety today. A lot of the reasons why I don't upload as frequently as I want to is just because I have a lot of anxiety, and I think a lot of us do. Like, I know for sure I'm not alone. I know a lot of like millennials or people my age suffer with anxiety. I wanted to make videos on mental health and mental health awareness in general, but my own mental health got in the way of that. So I figured it's still not too late. I feel like every month should be mental health awareness month, especially because it's such a common thing amongst a lot of us millennials. One of the main reasons why I think a lot of us suffer from anxiety and depression and everything in between is because no one really talks about it. Yeah, a lot of people on YouTube talk about it, but no one in our real lives, like face-to-face, talk about it. It's kind of taboo. And it's really sad because it's more common than we think. Like, I was never really open about it with my friends up until maybe a year or so ago, when it was actually becoming noticeable, or when it was becoming noticeable within my other friends, and that's when I shared my own experience. But it was always kind of one of those things that growing up, like, I knew I was always a little bit like feeling a bit off every now and then, but I would always like tell myself like I can't be depressed, like I'm fine, like, you know, I have a house, I'm going to school, I have all of these things, I have people around me that I'm able to go to and talk to, so like I can't possibly be feeling this way. That kind of threw me into an even deeper hole in thinking that what I was feeling wasn't valid and that I shouldn't be feeling this way and other people have it worse and all of those stuff. Although I don't have any tips for you guys to help you with your anxiety, I can tell you a few things that I do to kind of help me. There are a few things that can help with your anxiety, and one of the biggest things that I've been doing, which I've been doing this whole entire past week, which I'm super proud of myself, is I've been meditating. I've been meditating every morning. Sometimes I'll even do it twice a day if I'm feeling funky. It's kind of helped me just like get more calm and feel more like in tune with myself. I was feeling a bit down because like I wasn't working out and I wasn't going running, and like that was one of the main reasons I was feeling like discouraged to kind of like, you know, do anything positive with my life, because I wasn't comfortable with how I looked and I wasn't comfortable with a lot of things about myself. But I feel like meditation and a couple other things that I've been really trying out has really helped out a lot. Like a lot. Like I feel like a brand new person. Not all the time. Like I was feeling pretty shitty this week. But you know, today's a new day and I'm feeling much better. And you know, hopefully tomorrow it stays like that. But every day it's kind of just like you have to take it day by day. And I've also been trying to catch up on a lot of sleep. So I just recently started my online classes a couple weeks ago. This has made it a lot easier for me to kind of just nap in the middle of the day before work. I also work remotely, so there are a lot of things I had to change in my life to kind of get to a better mental state, and for some people it's not possible. I was working at an office for a year. I was working at Starbucks for like 8 months before that, so it's taken me a while to be able to get to a point where I'm able to work from home. And even though I know it's not something that I want to do forever, it is something that is helpful for me right now. So if you see that there are parts in your life that you're able to adjust and kind of just to work out differently, then take advantage of that. I didn't purposefully try to get into a remote position, but it kind of just happened. The place that I had applied to, I didn't realize it was remote up until after I had already applied to them. Like a lot of things just kind of like fell in my lap. And it did take a lot of time for me to get used to and to get to the place that I am right now, and I'm still working to get to a better place. You kind of want to like tap in to your inner self and really get a sense for who you are and what it is that you want in this world. Because we don't want to be living for anyone else besides ourselves. If you find yourself that you're doing things that make you unhappy and that are kind of causing your anxiety or causing or triggering anything that it is that you're feeling, then you want to take a step back and look at the situation at hand. It also helps a lot talking to other people. Like, I don't really talk to people about my emotions up until afterwards, and like that doesn't help anybody. And even if it's just writing or talking to someone online, it helps just letting it out. But you also want to be careful of what it is that you tell to other people. If you're not comfortable enough to talk to someone about something, then maybe it's best to just write it down. You don't want to share something with someone if you're not completely comfortable sharing it with that person or sharing that, you know, part of you in general. You want to be careful with who you talk to, and if you're not comfortable talking to someone about certain things, write it down. I have a ton of notebooks and journals. I have this one that I purchased from TJ Maxx that this is more of like, it was my planner. I have like a notepad that is over there, but I don't feel like getting up. Writing things down, making lists, getting myself organized is what really helps kind of take things a little bit slowly and just like take it back and realize I'm human. I'm not, you know, a superwoman, and I don't have to be. I think a lot of the times we kind of force ourselves to be put into a certain situation, or we feel like in order to make everyone else happy we have to act a certain way, but that's not the case. If you're doing something that's not making you happy, you have to take yourself out of that situation. A really big thing that I feel like helps kind of bring me down from my anxiety is kind of just taking a step back and realizing what it is that I want. So right now I know that one of my big goals is, aside from graduating, is moving. So a really big goal of mine is to move. So because of that, I've been feeling a lot of anxiety and I've been kind of down just because I feel like there's so many things I want to do and I can't do all of it, or you know, my anxiety or my depression will get in the way that I'll just spend all morning in my room and I won't do anything. At night I'll feel like, what did I do with my day? I could have been doing this, this and that. I could have been, you know, trying to build up my platform. I could have been doing all of these things, but I really couldn't. Like, I couldn't let myself to do it. I didn't have the energy or the motivation, and I feel like it's happened to me enough times that I'm kind of at this point where I'm like, okay, that's just me. This happens, and if I get too overwhelmed, I realize that my body kind of just shuts down and it kind of just doesn't let me do the things that I want. And instead, I'll, you know, stay on my computer browsing, or I'll fall asleep, or I'll take naps all day. Yeah, it's not ideal and it's not what I want to be doing. It's not how I would want to be spending that day. But at the end of the day, I would prefer to do that than to push myself into something that's going to cause a terrible outcome. And by terrible outcome, I mean, you know, putting up a video that I don't like and end up deleting it, or putting my energy towards something that I know isn't going to get me anywhere. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, if I feel like I want to just stay in my room today and not really do much and maybe just read and lounge around, that's okay. And I'll try to make it a point that on my off day, or when I'm not really doing anything, I'll try to do something. Even if it's not, you know, putting up a video, at least if I do something, I can feel satisfied for that day. And another thing that I do quite often is I just take every week, day by day, and at the end of the week, I'll kind of do a mental note of what I did, what I got done, and if I didn't get anything done, I'll then take those things that I wanted to do into the next week, and I'll keep taking them over until I knock things off little by little on my list. I have this list of things that I wanted to do. I've had this since a week and a half ago. A lot of the stuff on this list I didn't finish up until this week, and every day I kept on adding a new thing that I needed to do, and sometimes I wouldn't mark things off that day, but I kind of just had this as a reminder of what I wanted to do. Another thing that I do is I'll make notes on my phone. So I have this list of notes of things I wanted to get done today. This is a pretty long list and I haven't really done a lot of it. I think I've only knocked out like maybe 1 or 2 things. But I made this list this morning with the mindset that if I don't get it all done today, I want to make sure I get the bulk of it done tomorrow. It also helps me plan ahead too, because a lot of these tasks that I have, some of them I have to have them done by tomorrow, but a lot of them I have to have them done by next week. So by me setting this up and kind of organizing the main things that I need to do that are my main priorities, like school or anything work related, that helps me to just feel like I'm organized. And most of the time when I'm feeling kind of like weird, it's because I didn't write anything down. So I've kind of noticed that these are the things that kind of cause me to end up feeling down and getting in a rut and not feeling motivated, but I also use it as a chance to help myself in getting to the point where I do feel motivated. And it's step by step, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day and your mental health isn't gonna be fixed in a day. What's inside of us, it's not something that's fixable. We're not broken. It's just a matter of being able to understand what's happening, why it's happening, and what you can do to help yourself. Do what you think will work best for you. Don't follow anybody else's guidelines, which is ironic because I'm here telling you guys these things, but really do what it is that you think is gonna work best for you. Because I can tell you, like, you know, write things down, talk to people, meditate, do all of these things, but if that doesn't work for you, then you're gonna know that, and it's not gonna give you the positive outcome that you want. Take a step back and really figure yourself out. If you need to make sacrifices, make those sacrifices. You know, do what it is that you want, because we've got one life to live and you want to be the happiest and best self that you can possibly be. So in order for you to get there, if you're struggling with anxiety, if you're struggling with depression or anything in between, take a step back, tap into your inner self, and really talk to yourself and figure out what it is that you want from life. What do you want from that week? What do you want from that day? What do you want from yourself? Think about those things and really, you know, really work on that. Work on yourself. And that's all that, you know, we can do when it comes to our mental health and just the health of our own sanity. It's just like, you have to really know what you want. And I hope this video was somewhat helpful. If you find that you don't have anyone to talk to, then I mean, you guys can always message me. I would be more than happy to, even if I don't have like the best recommendations, like if you just want to write something out and, you know, have it sent to someone that you don't know, you know, I don't mind helping out where I can. If I can find any like actual organizations that have professionals that you can reach out to, I'll put that down below as well. Remember, love yourself because you are worthy and you are valid. Signing off. Peace, y'all.